this map, and they play dive tank, so
All right,
it's
that
decent on
should
attack.
be live.
But on
If the
defense,
chat
just
can hear me.
trash, dude.
Whoops, I gotta get rid of that. That's okay. Chat should be able to hear me now. Let me know if the audio sounds good, if I need to increase it or whatnot. I had a video playing in the background there for the first 2 seconds. Don't worry about that. But good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Got a One Piece chapter. I think it's on break next week again, right? Sup, Witch? I see you in the chat. Ironheart. Also, have not been spoiled on the chapter. Just an FYI. But yeah, I'll wait a minute for everyone to get in here, and then we'll just hop right into it, man. What's up, Hunter? Mosin, Christian, Dev with the Usopp pick. Kawaii Shark, always here. Gotta have the shark. Dritz, aka Griffith in the making. How so, man? Don't spoil for the people who haven't read the series, bro. Drit's hair looking clean. I mean, I got out of the shower like an hour and a half ago, so as clean as it's going to get. You know, I got the little, you know, as good as it's going to get for me. Yeah, I had Overwatch playing in the back, bro. What's up, SK? Hope I enjoy this chapter. We'll see. I don't really have any expectations going into this chapter. There's nothing I'm looking forward to. We'll probably see the Sulong, what it looks like, but outside of that, I don't really know what's going to happen. $5 from Sagad. Hey, man, what's good? Did you have fun with your Nami body pillow today? So, I'm not going to lie. This Nami body pillow comes in clutch in terms of comfort, my man. It's actually pretty good. I thought these pillows would basically just be memes, but this might be one of the best free things I've ever gotten in my life. It is actually pretty nice. Roger got spoiled, and that really stinks, but it is what it is. Well, I have the advantage of being Dritz the Dragdown. People like to spoil others who they think will enjoy something. It's kind of like a sick, twisted feeling. But no one likes to spoil something for someone who doesn't like it anyway, man. So, hey, man, we I'm invincible. Now someone's going to try and do it now. What's up, Steve-O? I have that Clark Kent curl. Oh, yo, you see the little thing over here, baby? Let's go. Oh, you see that? Oh, look at that. Shit, man. I'm popping off. But anyway, I don't want to diverge the attention for too long. Let's just hop right into the chapter. I saw people in the chat while I was preparing the stream wondering where I'm reading it from. It's in the link in the description. So is my Discord link. If people wanted to join the Discord, it's there as well. But I am reading the chapter from OnePieceChapters.com. It was the latest thing linked to my Discord, and that's usually where I go to. So let's just go ahead and dive into it. Oh, we have another Pound cover story page. Wow. How long has this been going on for now? Like 30-something chapters? Is this the longest cover story in the entire series? That's crazy. We see Gang Pages, Oh My Family, Volume 30, it even says it for me. Volume 32. 32, wow. Despite being under the Navy's fire, I am still their dad, so he's just swimming. Alright, whatever, dude. Let's just continue to the first chat. Oh, can I not use the keys? Oh, I have to scroll down. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Let's go ahead. So we see the first page. So we see, I'm going to assume this is the scan quality, but a little sketchy looking Kaido drawn. So that's what you minks were planning. Waiting for the full moon to use your full strength in Sulong form. Oh, all of the minks just randomly showed up. Oh, crap. I guess they got there while everyone wasn't looking. So we see a bunch of, we see a Pitbull with a scar. Got the Garp scar. Master Kaido. We see some doors opening. So we see Jack, a bunch of gifters, and Sasquatch in the background. Who the hell is that? You samurai have really crossed the line. To allow you intruders to even get this far is only due to our negligence. You guys suck, so don't go thinking that you will ever be able to get this close to Kaido again. Coming from Jack, I'm not too confident, man. So we see Nekomusha saying, stop right there. A great country that lasted a millennia was turned to rubble all by the hand of that man, even though we kept telling him there were no samurai at Zo. They told you that in order to keep me safe, Jack. I will repay my debt to them in full over the course of this war. Absolute cap. 110% cap. Raizo, shut your mouth. Don't open it again. I'm done talking to you. Take that moon crescent off your forehead, too, while you're at it. So we see, so it was you. I don't know who's saying that. We get a little weird panel of the moon. Master Nekomamushi, everyone, please save your strength for Kaido. So we see Steba would know these guys' names. What is this guy's... What's the gorilla's name again? Roddy and Bibi. Blackback. That's what it was. Blackback. Blackback. Guardians of the Will Force. So they're going Sulong. Do these guys... I wonder if these guys have the Sulong form mastered, because all Carrot could do was take a steering wheel. I wonder if they're like, if this is like a 100% go in and like after the first 5 minutes they're all dead sort of thing, because Carrot was like out for the rest of the Whole Cake Island. So we see some weirdly drawn, I don't know who these guys are, but I think I see Sicilian there. Inorashi's Three Musketeers, Giovanni, Consolat. I did not know their names, man. So we see them all going Sulong. Yeah, these scan. I'm going to assume this is the scan quality, because that's weird looking. But we see the minks all screaming. Don't fall back. They cannot maintain their Sulong form for long. We aren't scared of you. We have beasts on our side as well. Numbers, Nagi. Okay, so that's a number. And it's off-screened. You love to see it. Their clash is off-screened. Wow. Who would have thought in One Piece that anything would be off-screened? So we see we're going back to the Big Mom stuff, it looks like. I think that's Big Mom. It sounds like they're already going at it. That bastard Jack, so that's where he went. Unlike you, he thinks ahead. So we see King and Queen going at it. We see King, question mark. Shinobu, it won't come loose. Shinobu, useless as always. Can't even get past some chains. That must be some Yonko level chains right there. So we see Shinobu nosing Jack. Damn it. Oh no. I can't really tell what's happening in this panel. I see a little ink line. I'm assuming he grabbed her. Ugh, if only you were a bit more careful. Dude, Shinobu sucks, dude. Oh my god. I'm so happy that she's trash. Fucking Shinobu, dude. And he just throws her against the wall. Fucking Shinobu. Oh, man. Okay. So we see Momonosuke saying Shinobu. She couldn't do it. Is she alright? Luffy, what? Oh my gosh. No, maybe it isn't the scans. Maybe the art's just really off. I wonder if Oda's okay. Shinobu-chan, so we see Nami and Carrot. Oh, yeah. I wonder if Oda's okay. I'm going to wait for the official, though, because maybe some of this is just lost in translation, but this is a pretty rough art. For Oda, at least. For Oda's quality. So we see the chains breaking. No! Oh, my God. Shinobu actually did something? Come on, dude. The chains break. What the hell? So we see Queen and King. Huh? He's flying. I'm scared. Oh, I think I know what this is. This is like Sanji, right? So I see King. What are you guys doing? Grab him. You're literally watching him. What are you doing? Huh? He's flying. I'm scared. We're so high up. You're like 10 feet off the ground, dude. What's going on? Momonosuke-sama. Momonosuke-sama. Ouch. Momonosuke-sama. Ouch. Quite the dialogue, man. So we see King. Yeah, so it is Sanji. So King goes in, I guess, with like a knee, and Sanji blocks it. So we learn that if Sanji attacks something, it gets revealed. I think we already knew that, actually. So Sanji's there. Sangoro. Sanji, wasn't he looking for the prostitutes? Yeah, what's Sanji doing here, man? Give back the brat. He can't be allowed to live. Blah, blah, blah. Sanji throws Momonosuke to Shinobu. Shinobu, I'm leaving Momo to you. Oh wait, Momo, Sango, you were super cool back there. Truly a lord. I like the art on the mask here for Sanji. I like that. It looks cool. Sangoro, Momonosuke, Sama, hold on tight. Yo, Shinobu, close your mouth and don't open it again on my watch, okay? I'm tired of you. Hey, 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 this is dangerous. Cut it out, you bird bastard. So we see King transformed. At this rate, you'll tear a hole right through. Isn't he like attacking your dick right now, Sanji? Get him out of there. I plan to split you clean in half. Let's see you disappear this time. Even if I turn invisible, I'll still get hit. So let me go. So let me go. Quite the dialogue going on here. Oh, King. So King actually throws him. I'm assuming Sanji's fine. Sanji, that looked really dangerous. Amazing dialogue. Yamato, I'm leaving Momo to you. Protect them both. Huh? Is that okay? So we see Ulti. I think that's Ulti in the background clashing with Yamato. Is that okay? What do you mean? Is that okay? Of course, protecting him is only natural. He's my son after all. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, so we see big meme. You bastards, I'll kill every one of you intruders so we can finally resume the feast. Big Mom, coming from you, this means absolutely nothing. You can't do anything. So see the fodder screaming on the sideline. First the wedding, then the tea party, and now there's a grand feast. You are always there to ruin my fun. Ikoku sovereignty. I don't know. Is that an Elbaf spear? I see a hole in the wall. Is this something different? Is Elbaf's spear actually Ikoku sovereignty? I forget what the Japanese translation of that was. All right, so we see boom. So did Luffy actually get hit by that? Could he not avoid that? Let me see here. Oh, okay, no, he's off on the side. He just dodged it. Big Mom's accuracy. Really good, like me in Overwatch. So you see the fodder commenting. Nani, who the hell is that old hag? The outside world is crazy. This is a captain that can stand shoulder to shoulder with Kaido. What? Then you are saying we have to deal with two Kaidos? Well, I mean, you guys already knew that you're going to have to deal with two Kaidos. Damn it, I'm trying to get to the roof. If she follows me up there, it will be tough to take them both on. Yeah, just if she follows you to the roof, man, that's when it'll get tough. So you're running away. Come, Zeus. Hey, Luffy, I thought you were never going to run away again, man. The fuck am I looking at? Zeus, no, we can't do this. Nami will be killed. She found us. Zeus, me or Big Mom, choose now. I told you I can't disobey Mama. Big Mom's tugging on Zeus, this cat burglar. If you hold... Okay, she didn't get it back. Okay, thank God. I thought she was going to get it back. If you hold back, I'll kill you, Zeus. Sorry, Nami, you have to die, huh? Soul sensor activate. The time, don't pay it any mind. I ride like the wind. So we see. Is that Frankie singing? I hate you. I'm done with you. What the fuck? No, it doesn't even make any sense. Why are you crying? What? Big Mom fucking sucks, dude. Oh, man. She takes a motorcycle to the dome. Fucking Carmelo Anthony 3-pointer to the dome. He's already been cut. Zeus got cut again? Oh my gosh. Free Rider Frankie coming through. Where's the... Ugh. Big Mom getting just a motorcycle run over her face. She's just like, ugh. What is going on, Big Mom? Oh, it seems like we pulled a bit too hard there. Well, whatever. Nami's crying, big bro. Some flowers are meant to be pulled. Here they are. Ugh. Am I gonna have to slander? Oh my. Oh my. I don't know. This chapter is pretty underwhelming. What a meme, dude. I want to be nice though. Ooh. All right, that's the end of the chapter. Let's go. Let's go talk to the chat. Yikes! All right, what's going on, chat? Thanks for dropping by, Roger. Sorry that you got spoiled, man. Hopefully, we had some fun. You had some fun watching me. So let's see what the chat's saying. Unleash the drag down of well, I'm in a good mood. I don't know, man. There are things I can talk about this chapter, but it's a lot of it's much of the same. If you guys want me to go into detail and be serious and stop memeing, then I'll be serious and look at the chapter for a second and tell you guys X, Y, and Z. This makes me feel less bad about being spoiled. Roger, here, listen, man. Listen, I don't know, dude. You know me and you are completely different people. You would probably be freaking out and hype about all of this stuff, loving it, you know, Disney Boys, Nintendo Invite Me stuff. Well, I don't know. For me, it's not it, man. It's not it. I look like the fourth Prince Cyreinic. That means I'm a psychopath, right? Not completely inaccurate. Sanji getting neg-diffed. I'm sure Sanji is, for the most part, fine. For the most part, fine. Sanji action 0 out of 10. No, not because Sanji got action, no. Dritzy said Sanji saving Momonosuke didn't serve any narrative purpose, and it still hasn't. Disappointed. I mean, I guess, okay, so I'll talk about the chapter for a little bit. I don't want to focus on it too much, to be honest, like the exact details. I'll just tell you how I felt about it. I'll go through, start from the beginning. Actually, let's start from a major point here, which is I wonder how rushed Onigashima has been from what Oda originally had planned. Because you can see that almost every single plot point that was even set up since Onigashima began has no relevance and no importance to the story whatsoever, and Oda ended it immediately without any of it mattering. I really wonder if Oda had something different planned for Onigashima, but decided partway through that he just didn't have the time to do that, and this is where we ended up where we are right now. Because all of the Straw Hats got separated for no reason, it seems like. Literally for no reason. Now, as far as the Momonosuke stuff being saved by Sanji, I know I've been on record before saying that this served no narrative purpose and didn't mean anything, so it wasn't going to happen. And I still stand by that. It did happen. Very unimpactful scene. Doesn't really mean anything. It's a cool moment for Sanji, I guess. It is a logical way to utilize his suit, but definitely a missed opportunity in my eyes because of what Oda had going with Momonosuke being chained up there. Also, Shinobu's like really weird that Shinobu's like got like meme slapped out of the way. Whatever, I suppose. But it is unfortunate because Momonosuke and Sanji have had not one interaction in the entire story. That's actually the first one. But oh well. Could be better. The more important thing to take from that, more so than a wasted opportunity, because it is what it is. It wasn't that bad. The thing to take from that, at least from Sanji's perspective, is the whole prostitute thing. Maybe it leads to something and he did something off screen, but the fact that Oda has literally off screened everything when it comes to the cruise makes it sort of irrelevant that they even split up to begin with, because nothing of importance was accomplished. Even Frankie and Brook coming at the end of the chapter wouldn't have made any difference had they split up. What was necessary for any of the crew splitting up? Really nothing, to be honest. And that's the same for the Scabbards as well, because it all ended up being the same thing anyway. No importance. So that's a missed opportunity as far as I'm concerned. Now, the Sanji versus King stuff, I don't have an issue with. It's just a short... I don't expect this to be the final battle, per se. I'm sure that one of the takes from this chapter is that Sanji is for sure fighting King. I don't think we have enough evidence to say one way or the other. If Sanji does fight King, then that bears to mind how far Oda is willing to stretch the power scaling in order to make it make sense. But we even saw in Whole Cake Island that Sanji had a couple interactions, where one interaction with Katakuri. I would not be surprised if the same thing occurred with King here, where Sanji has a run-in with King and then disengaged. I don't think it's time yet for a serious battle, at least between Sanji and King. If it were to happen, I don't think it's going to happen here. Wait for the anime Dritz, it'll explain everything. Alright, you are trying to tilt me, Brago. I will not be tempted by that. Another thing is the Sulong transformation to off-screen. Personally, I think Oda had a missed opportunity there when it comes to showing the initial impact. Battles are kind of like, whenever you show the initial impact of a battle when both sides are meeting each other, it really gives you the opportunity to do something amazing with the spreads. Not particularly happy that Oda just showed them goes too long and then went off screen. I'm sure we'll come back to see Nekomamushi and Urashi going too long and it will look cool. But, you know, whatever, I suppose. It could be worse. At least there wasn't anything wrong with the writing in that scenario. Just a little bit of a letdown. Now, the Yamato stuff. Now, I want to be patient with Yamato because I'm not sure what Yamato's purpose is in this arc. So far, though, I think Yamato has been disappointing as a character. But I will give her time. I'm hoping at least Oda is bringing forth an opportunity for Momonosuke and Yamato to have their time together. So there's opportunity there, so I will be patient for Yamato. I'm hoping there's some kind of dialogue between the Kaido versus Oden being the sons of these rulers sort of thing. That would be very nice. Now, this final stretch of the chapter with Big Mom, the memeing. The part that's really weird, outside of the dialogue being kind of cringe, hopefully the official changes that. I won't put too much status into the dialogue, but it's this Nami stuff. It is very weird. Awkward, cringy even, and kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see where it goes to, but it really does not feel, in terms of tone, that anything that's happening is really serious. From the Straw Hats perspective, you can at least get the perspective from the Scabbard side and everyone else who's involved in Wano, that they at least think this is somewhat serious. But it is disappointing to a fault that the Straw Hats, as a unit, don't care about anything that's happening whatsoever within the arc. That is disappointing. And just the entirety of Nami's just like reaction to the Zeus stuff is over the top, I feel like. Maybe this will be translated better in the official, but I think that sort of takes away from the moment. We'll see how it goes. And then to end with like the meme, Big Bro screaming. You would not expect this scenario to keep happening, specifically to Big Mom, man. Specifically to Big Mom. I feel bad for any Big Mom fans out there, dude, because She's reaching Sanji levels of getting cucked by Oda, man. Drit's Big Mom got hit in the head. Amnesia plot returning. $5 from Icewater. Big Mom gets amnesia again. I hope for everyone's sake in the community, in the One Piece world, that this is not the case. If Big Mom gets amnesia from Frankie hitting her in the head with his motorcycle. Oh my god. Oh. Then that's going to be something else entirely. We'll tackle that. I don't think that's going to happen, but if that does occur, then we need to have a discussion. But overall, this chapter is kind of just like the same as what we've been getting, at least as far as Onigashima and Wano in general. Underwhelming stuff not delivering. So I can't say that I'm too surprised, maybe a bit disappointed. I'm hoping that the Sanji stuff, there's a bit more depth to it, because Nami did question about what happened to the prostitutes. Maybe that's a lingering plotline, but I do not like the fact that even if this is a lingering plotline, that everything is literally off-screen. There's no build-up. There's no rising action, climax, falling action to any of these subplots. Ugh. In Roger's top 10, Yamato was number 10. Well, was in the top 10? Listen, man, Roger's, that's the casual fan base for you. They probably put Yamato. I wouldn't be surprised if Ulti was in the top 10, because those fan arts are carrying. $5 from Witch. Thank you for the $5, my friend. It's been clear for a while that Oda cares more about gags than good storytelling. That's true. But I would say, I would imagine that from the casual perspective, that the thing that people most have an issue with is the fact that Sanji's fighting King. I can imagine the Zoro tards just slitting their wrists. That Zoro not only has the Nidai not shown up, shout outs to Matt, but that Sanji's had an interaction with King. That's like the least of my concerns. I thought that was absolutely fine. That's at least a good moment for Sanji. I like that. I would have wanted the rescue of Momonosuke to be have a bit more substance to it. That was underwhelming. I think that even if it was meant to be for Sanji the entire time, I think that could have been better for Sanji as a character. But it wasn't bad. So, not as much of an issue with that, to be honest. I will take my L in saying that it was for sure not going to be Sanji. But the only issue I have with the Sanji rescuing stuff is the subplot that he was already involved with. Same with Frankie and Brook. Was Ulti top 10? Ulti was 22. 22! Oh my god, dude. These fan arts, they're doing God's work, man. I look like a real man. Yo, about damn time, right? Look at this. Look at this. I can almost grow a beard, man. Look at this shit. I mean, it still looks like crap, but like, that's as good as it's gonna get, baby. What if Big Mom remembers Mother Carmel? If Big Mom remembers Mother Carmel from getting hit in the head with a motorcycle, there's no way, dude. That would be crazy, man. Zoro is going to fight Sasuke and Sanji is going to fight Big Mom. Nate, what? You know what, Nate? You need to calm yourself down. You are turning into the new age young Obama. Bring back Olin Braga. You need to stop. Has the amnesia served its full purpose? Honestly, I can see Oda thinking that he needs to tie it into the story some more. Now, in my opinion, Stebo, no, the amnesia has not served its full purpose. Because if the only purpose of giving Big Mom amnesia was for the liberation of Udon, then not only, like, it's already bad to begin with. Let's make that clear. But if that was the only reason, then we have something way worse on our hands. Now, the Amnesia stuff still has the opportunity to go somewhere somewhat good. Execution will be muffled, as is the norm, but I don't think it's over yet. I do not think so. Motorcycle Frankie is Yonko level? Could be. Could be. Amnesia, Big Mom will fight Kaido Dritz? I hope not. They put Carrot over Ace, disrespect at its finest. Yo, get Maze out of here, man. What the hell are they doing? Carrot? The girl who's only had like 20 panels in all of Wano? No, that ain't it. When was the last time Frankie had a great moment? Well, it depends what your definition is, but I would probably say Dressrosa with Senor Pink, perhaps. Frankie hasn't really been that involved in the story, though, for a variety of reasons. Dritz, I don't get it. How come Luffy can Haki hit Big Mom and nothing happens, but still gets hit with something simple and forgets her memories? I can't give you the answer to that, my friend. Did you notice that King crashed Sanji into the building Zoro cut? Oh, is that so? I did not actually see it. Let me go ahead and check. Oops, I went too far. Is this it? Oh. Wow, yes, so yeah, it is. Well, or is it the one next to it? Because there's like one in the background. I can't tell if these are two separate plateaus, but I do see the one that Zoro cut. That's a nice detail notice, man. That's a nice detail notice. Carrot cute though, Dritz? Nah. No, Roger, we disrespect Carrot in this house, man. Dritz, how would you like Big Mom and Kaido to fall? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can think of a satisfactory way to have both of them fall. Given everything that's already happened. If you had set things from zero, then yeah, I could think of things. But given the events that have already happened, I don't know if a satisfactory way exists for Big Mom and Kaido to both be defeated in the same arc. If you believe that's going to happen. I think it will probably happen. I really would not like Big Mom to be a part of another arc. But I can't think of a satisfactory way. The closest thing you can get to it, even though I don't think this would necessarily be satisfactory, is if Big Mom gets taken out by a third party. And I don't think that would be satisfactory. Like, it would be cool to add respect to, like, that third party, whoever it was. But given the storyline written with Big Mom and the Straw Hats, I don't think it would be satisfactory. Do I think Carrot's joining the Straw Hats? Yes, I do, actually. I think Carrot's joining the Straw Hats. I think Momonosuke's joining the Straw Hats. And potentially, I'm not sure where this is going to go. Oda hasn't tackled it at all since he first introduced the concept, but Tama. Tama is also a possibility, in my opinion. What's up, Sen? Just what do you think about Luffy being very confident to beat Kaido this time? He said it's going to be bad for him if he fought Kaido and Big Mom at the same time. This is, well, in my opinion, I think Luffy's absolutely delusional for literally no reason. I don't know where this false sense of bravado comes from. Coming from the same person who ran from a mindless Big Mom in Udon. And then as Big Mom was captured and taken away by Queen, like, lamented, like, oh man, this place is gonna be boring now that Big Mom and Queen are here, even though I wasn't doing nothing to them anyway. I don't know what's going on with Luffy's character in this entire arc. It has been really, really awkward, in my opinion. I don't know what Oda has planned, to be honest. I don't know where it's going to go. $2 from Silvers and no more carrots. I mean, I can't disagree. Dritz feature Matt saying Sanji doesn't have armor and Haki hardening, even though it was shown in this chapter. In this, where? Where is it shown that he has hardening? I don't see any visual evidence that suggests he has hardening in this chapter. But I agree with him. Sanji, from everything that I'm actually making a video about this, but Sanji, there's no significant point in the entire story you can point to prove that Sanji has hardening. He has armament. That is a fact. Sanji has never once used hardening in the entirety of the post-time skip. Just if Momo and Yamato get an interaction, would he lure her? No, I don't think so. I think that's sort of like a Straw Hat gag thing. Do you think Oda has jumped the shark and will continue to give the shots easy W's? No, I don't. Like, there's W's, and then there's like actual W's, which is the resolution of a fight. I expect things to get serious for the Straw Hats eventually. They have Hockey Lightning. Okay, what does Hockey Lightning mean? What does Hockey Lightning mean? It's on page 19, Dritz. You may have missed the page. Yo, Braga, you are a different animal in the chat, man. Dritz, the numbers are absolutely garbage from a design standpoint. Garbage. I mean, we've only seen one of them, dude. And were we even expecting them to look cool? But I mean, we've only seen one. I'm not stressing out over that, man. I'm not. Just when Sanji defended against Judge's spear and Judge commented they had hockey, did you not think it was hardening? No, it was armament. We even see the bottom of Sanji's foot and the exact same attack that Sanji was said to have hockey, that it wasn't even hardened. There was a clear visual distinction between Sanji's shoes because it wasn't all uniform in color. No, Sanji's never once shown a visual indication within the canon series that he's ever used hardening. That's a fact. From a power position, should the Alliance defeat the two Yonko? From a power position, absolutely not, in my opinion. They are heavily outmatched. Heavily outmatched. Heavily outmatched. I don't think that's up for debate. I don't think anyone really thinks that if you compare the two sides, which, you know, the big factor is the Yonko, obviously. But if you combine two Yonko, what they have here is incredibly insufficient. My God. Brago, what have you started in the chat, man? You're absolutely disgusting. Why don't Kaido and Big Mom just knock out the armies of samurai with Conqueror's Haki? Because then they'd be able to win right away, and Oda doesn't want that to happen. Dritz, do you think we will reach 1,000 chapters this year? And do you think the fact that Luffy used the sword will have any effect on the story ahead? Do I think we will reach chapter 1,000 this year? Well, we're on chapter 988, so we have 12 chapters left and roughly 3 months. Well, wait, 4, right? September, October, November. Yeah, I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there. It might be just barely, though. It might be just barely. And does the fact that Luffy used a sword have any effect on the story? I don't think so. At the beginning of Wano, whenever Luffy first got the Nidai, I entertained the possibility that Oda could take this in like a Katakuri-esque situation where Luffy actually has a sword, but it's not his primary way of fighting, just like how Katakuri uses, I forget the name of his spear, it starts with MOG something like that, but his spear, but that's not Katakuri at his strongest. You have to get past the spear first before you can fight him. I entertained the possibility that Luffy could have the same thing, kind of mimicking Roger in a sense, where he could use a sword, but it would somewhat devalue Zoro's role in the crew, even though Brook's already there as a swordsman. But the fact that the Nidai has been irrelevant to the arc has essentially made it confirmed, in my opinion, that Luffy's not getting a weapon. I don't think there was a high possibility anyway. It's like an entertaining idea. $20 from Lothar. Thank you, Lothar. Finally made it to a stream. Work's been kind of crazy. Did I miss the live reaction? You did miss the live reaction, my man. It's definitely clear as day that the series is ending 100% in 5 years. Rogers Base preaching what what was it, like a year ago, 10 months ago? I started that shitstorm on Twitter because the correlation was quite clear in my eyes. Now it's actually got me kind of worried because I was somewhat trolling, but now it seems like it's actually true because I didn't want it to be true. But if you look at the conventional evidence, it is very suggestive that One Piece is ending soon. Oda has stated before, numerous times actually, one, that he wanted to finish One Piece by the time he was 50, so he could sail the world and view the things that he always wanted to view in his life. And then Oda said that One Piece might end in 5 years. And when you look at Oda's age currently, or at the time that he said that, he was 45. 5 years, 45, 50. And then the editors came out and said, yeah, One Piece isn't ending in 5 years. And then in the very next interview, the editors backtracked on that statement, saying, at the rate that Oda's going, One Piece could very realistically end in 5 years. So they backtracked on it. Definitely to, yeah, it looks like it might be that way. And then in the recent Ace novel, well, not Ace novel, the One Piece magazine, the 10th volume, it is the first time in the history of the series that the end of the series has been advertised. That's never happened before. Very, very important things. From an author's perspective, Oda does seem to be wanting to end. Now, it's going to take a while to get there, obviously. But what that means for the story is another argument in of itself. Luffy is keeping the Nidai at Dritz. Why is he keeping the Nidai? Where is the Nidai, actually? Is the color of my shirt my favorite color? No, I just have a bunch of shirts this color. My favorite color is actually red. Discussion with the boys. Well, I do believe that Matt had a discussion with the boys, did he not? And I think Jay might have as well. And is there a whole lot to talk about from this chapter? Zoro gets Nidai? Possible, sure. I don't know when it's going to pop up, though. Which would bring up a different argument in of itself, is if the Nidai has not shown up pre-Onigashima, where is it going to show up? Is it like an after the fact thing that Zoro gets at the end of the arc, or Luffy gets at the end of the arc, if you want to argue Luffy? Where does it go? And if the Straw Hats have a huge failure, which Morge wants to happen, then how does that happen, and what's the justification, sort of? Just thoughts on Wano possibly being a top 3 arc by the end. It's already number 4 for me. Brago, you need to shut the hell up. I hate you, dude. Sword discussions are easily your least favorite in the whole community. Oh, I don't disagree with you, Roger, because sword discussions, they really don't go anywhere. They really don't go anywhere. Kid should get the Nidai. Brago. Dritz, what is your current rating of Wano? Well, I'm not exactly sure what the rating is, but it's for me, it's by far the worst arc in the series. So probably maybe like a 2 or a 3. Maybe like a 4, I don't know. Hurry up so we can play Apex. Yo, Apex time? Damn. What do you think is/was Kaido's plan to start his war before or after his alliance with Big Mom? Whatever is going on in Onigashima is a battle, at best, not a war. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of a thing that each Yonko has their quote-unquote plan that allows them to reach maximum power. So Big Mom's was obviously the Vince Milk technology plus the Elbaf. She wanted Elbaf, but she couldn't have Elbaf. So she went for the Vince Milk technology to try and create giants to replicate some massive army. Kaido's was forming the strongest crew. He has the smile, so it must be his opinion that if he amasses enough of those people, then he would be strong enough. But now, obviously, since he's out of Big Mom, I don't know how things change so fast. Maybe we'll eventually get the flashback to what Big Mom and Kaido talked about whenever they were fighting to sort of clear things up. Drit's thoughts on Big Mom mutiny later on in Wano. Christian, I think this has a good chance of happening. And I'm not going to put a percentage on it, but the idea of Big Mom betraying Kaido is relevant because of what happened specifically in the last chapter. It was always an idea within the community, but the fact that Sparrow has, I mean, it looks like he's teamed up with Marco, it does make you think if Big Mom's going to mutiny. Because, like, where does that plot point lead? And Big Mom's also not too sweating about what's happening right now. Yo, what's up, Sierra? How you been? Dritz, how would you rate Onigashima so far? Oh, I mean, I would have to go reread it, but it's not been good. Dritz, what's your second least favorite arc after Wano? Whole Cake Island or might be Whole Cake Island. Just do you think it takes the moment out of chapter 987 when Nakamushi was false advertised to go too long almost immediately by the beginning of next chapter? That's kind of a standard thing for Oda to do. I mean, it's fine as long as we see it, as far as I'm concerned. Do you think we will see a good fight in this arc? $5 from Jackalope? I think so, yeah. Well, all the ingredients are there. All we have to do is wait for Oda to deliver, right? Am I going to upload my live reaction onto my secondary channel? Dritz, do you think Matt is right for saying law is a part of Sword? Well, I mean, first off and foremost, theories aren't necessarily about being right. It's about what's your logic behind them. And I think there are some things you can argue for law being a part of Sword. I disagree with it, but it's a good idea. Am I watching the NBA? I've been watching the Lakers games. Brago. Finally, Jets confirms Whole Cake is in his top 10. Yeah, top 10 least favorite. You still reading Spy X Family? Yeah. Spy X Family is wholesome. So who's going to come to Wano to balance the war, Marines or Blackbeards? Well, I mean, if that happens, it could not happen. If Big Mom mutinies, then that automatically balances the war, right? Whatever the third party becomes, it doesn't matter what it is. Do you think the Straw Hats are going to experience failure, as Mr. Morich has said? Well, it's me and Morge actually. We have a little date every 2 weeks. We probably should be having one next week to talk about One Piece and just stuff in general. Usually a lot of basketball. I always agreed with Morge that there would be some type of failure. Where I disagreed with Morge was the extent, because I did not think it was actually possible for the arc to like reset to Zero. I did not think that was possible. And after the last chapter, Morge and I share the same opinion that it's looking like, or there's the indication that this is it. That the Onigashima things end here. But because of the way the writing was set up with the Scabbards and Kaido. It's still the possibility, though. We have to wait and see. The next 5 to 10 chapters are going to be very, very critical to that idea, the entire failure idea. So it could still possibly happen, yes. Spy X Family is def good. Roger's based on that Spy X Family goodness. It is very, very cute. I mean, obviously the story's not like 10 out of 10. You're not going to find the same enjoyment in it that you find in, say, One Piece or like, shonens or series that have big or high stakes. It's more of like a cool down series where you just read it to have fun and be like, oh, that's cute. And there's some funny stuff in it. Spy X Family is a nice side manga to read, man. And also, I hear stickers in the back. Get off of that. She was chewing on some plastic. Dritz, what would Oda need to do for you to enjoy this arc more? I mean, there is tons of reasons. Well, there are tons of ways for me to enjoy the arc more. It's kind of like a weird way to like say that, but I guess the number one thing would be to write the Straw Hats competently, better, put stakes and tension to the story, make things matter, give depth to some plot lines. A little bit late for some of the plotline stuff, but definitely missing the Straw Hats in Wano. Dritz, what is the second channel? It's Dritz Do Erden. But I can spell it out for you. But if you want to know whenever I upload my live reactions to that backup channel, join the Discord in the description below. Here she is. Hello, say hi. Okay. Ooh, look at that. You hear me talking, huh? What? Shut up. Just what do you think about my Toronto Raptors? They about to be up 3-0 right now. Do you think they can come out of the East? Yeah, I think they can come out of the East. I don't think the East is particularly locked down. Cat Gang, that's right. Kitty Cat. Have I read Fairy Tail? I read the first 250 chapters of Fairy Tail, and then I dropped it. Did I read Hunter x Hunter? I watched Hunter x Hunter, and then read what I couldn't watch, obviously. But I have to go back and reread Hunter x Hunter from the beginning. Did a Big Mom saw Blackbeard? Wouldn't she just make him one of her husbands? I mean, I don't know about that. Christian Romano, $5. When will Oda answer the why behind why obtaining the One Piece is a necessary step in accomplishing the goals of the individual Yonko? Never. I don't think he's ever going to tackle that. Dritz, how do you have Naruto on par with One Piece? Do you actually want me to explain that? What did Dritz give the chapter? I did not rate it yet. I don't know what I would rate it. Like, I've been keeping track of my ratings, obviously. But this chapter was not that good. But it wasn't obscenely bad like some of the stuff we were seeing in Udon. I don't know. It'd be like somewhere in the middle ground, I guess. Like a 6, maybe. Because there wasn't anything obscenely bad in it, but there was some disappointing stuff. You a fan of Michael Jackson? I mean, I haven't listened to a lot of Michael Jackson's music, but yeah, I like Michael Jackson. Roger Space, are you actually trolling with that? Because I think, even if you say you're trolling with that, I think that might be facts that you're speaking. At least from your perspective. I think Brago also thinks the same way, but he refuses to acknowledge it. I wish for a stream where Dritz pretends he thinks Wano has a 10 out of 10 arc and loved everything. That would be a hilarious troll. Hilarious troll. What do I mean by Naruto on par with One Piece? As in, if I were to rank like what my favorite manga are, Naruto is on the same exact level as One Piece for me. Which shonen has the best fights? Well, I mean, I'm not a shonen. I don't read a whole lot of shonen. I would say out of the ones that I read, the fights that I enjoyed the most were the Naruto fights. Even if some of them didn't make any sense. I think in the future, though, Hunter x Hunter has the ability to have the best fights. I like Hunter x Hunter fights, but I do not think there's, like, incredible fights in Hunter x Hunter. Just can we assume that at this point somehow Nami is going to reclaim Zeus and keep him all the way to EOS? Well, I think Nami will eventually get Zeus back. I said that since the beginning of whenever she lost Zeus, because Nami losing Zeus now doesn't do anything. She never did anything with Zeus whenever she got him, so her losing him permanently now is meaningless, in my opinion. I don't know why Oda would do that. Just have you ever had extreme deja vu where it's pretty much a memory because I remember watching the stream before, even though it is live now? No. Brago did cream all over that statue. That's a fact. Luffy versus Vivi over every fight in Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, the depth, the themes. What is your matchup for the NBA Finals? Well, I don't have a definitive winner in either the West or the East, so I'm not actually sure. I imagine the Bucks will win the East, but you never know. Rogers base. Just read Vagabond. I plan to read Vagabond sometime in the future. That Zeus thing has already been done on Whole Cake Island. I don't even know what you mean by that. What's up, Matt? I want to read Hunter x Hunter, but the hiatus keeps me from doing so. Berserk and Gangsta are already hurt me enough. It depends on how you personally see things, Chanel. But for me, hiatuses or, like, let's say a dropped project doesn't hurt me. I would much rather have the experience and love for a series than to be afraid of being hurt by it. The benefits far outweigh, like, the cons, in my opinion. which is why I do plan to read Vagabond, and Vagabond's never ever going to be finished, ever. And I know that for a fact. But I want to experience what it has given me. And the same thing with Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is probably never going to finish, and we're probably never going to even finish the arc that we're currently in Hunter x Hunter. But I still appreciate reading Hunter x Hunter. I would never wish that I hadn't read it. Dritz, if Nami is supposed to keep Zeus, what does that mean for Big Mom and her potential death? I mean, it depends on how you look at things. On paper, if you were to compare Big Mom's fruit to any other fruit in the entire series, her fruit is most similar to Moria's. And we know that Moria, even if you kill him, his shadows still remain active. He has to willingly release his shadows or lose control of them, as it happened in Thriller Bark, in order for his devil fruit to lose its effect. The same could be said of Big Mama's devil fruit. If she were to die in this arc, then that doesn't mean all the homies go back to normal, unless she loses control over some of them, which is that could easily happen as well. Dritz, thoughts on Re:Zero Season 2 so far? So I'm not going to spoil, but mostly been great. Mostly been great. I think there have actually been a couple misses so far in the second season of Re:Zero, but for the most part, been great. Succession War or Wano? Succession. Why is Vivi such a good character? I mean, I don't think anyone's saying Vivi's like a paragon of what great character writing is, but Vivi's fine. I like Vivi. Do I think Vivi is Joy Boy? Possibility. Drit's thoughts on the hawk and the owl? What chapter of Berserk are you on right now, Brago? What chapter are you on? Because we might have to do some live reading today, you know what I'm saying? Actually, wait, you're probably busy, huh? But what chapter are you on? Nami stole Zeus and whole cake. Her stealing Zeus again is not a surprise, is my point. Well, what about it being a surprise is part of it not happening? Because Nami already tried to steal back Zeus again. So, I mean, I don't know where you're going with that. Dark Continent greater than one. We haven't even gone to the Dark Continent yet. We're never going to get there. We're never getting there. Ever, ever, ever. Dritz, what about post time skip do you think is terrible consistently? Well, I mean, I can be very generic, but the thing that's been the worst with One Piece in the post time skip has been execution. What are my thoughts on Luffy as a character? Luffy started off great, I think. If you're following the classic hero's journey tale, Luffy kind of fell off a cliff for me a little bit into the post-time skip. I think Luffy, for me, especially over the course of these past two arcs, has been somewhat insufferable. Like, I can't stand when he's on the screen right now. Why is Urza such a good character? I know nothing about Urza, man. When was it confirmed that Moria's shadow ability remains active after his death? It was in Thriller Bark whenever they were talking about how you needed to defeat Moria. I think, was it Lola who brought that up? It might have been Lola or one of like the lackeys who brought it up. Wait, just how'd you feel the chapter? Nami the Goat. What a good name. It was alright. I mean, it wasn't good, but could have been worse. It was okay. Kingdom, pick it right back up, Dritz. The time is nigh. I need to get back into Kingdom. I read 462 chapters, and then I gave it a rest. I do need to come back to it. That much is true. Just what would it make you to check out the anime again? The anime for One Piece? Malalala, la 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 la. Is that what you're saying? Dritz, do you think Vista is Mihawk level because Taekwon thinks so? Don't bring up Taekwon logic around me, sir. What's up, Satsuki? Dritz, about several months ago, someone said Naruto are deluded. Someone said Naruto's deluded. Luffy versus Lucian Usopp is better than any Naruto fight. Okay. I mean, if you like it more, I think there are numerous fights in Naruto that are significantly better than Luffy versus Lucci and Luffy versus Usopp. But if you like it the most, then there's nothing wrong with that. Just would you hate if Mihawk were to join the red-haired pirates to fight Blackbeard pirates and Shiryu were to kill Mihawk? Yes, that'd be awful. Slit my wrists. Driz, do you think Nami's going to get Zeus? Yeah, I think she's going to get him back. Or something equivalent to that. So it's going to go somewhere, is the least I can say. It's not an arbitrary plotline where Nami got Zeus momentarily to do nothing and then gave it back and then it didn't go anywhere. It has to lead somewhere. Or otherwise, Oda just literally, like, if Nami loses Zeus permanently and it doesn't go anywhere in the story, then Oda had an idea of what was going to happen, and it was like, you know what? Nah, I don't have time for this, and he ended it. That's what that would mean. Just what do you think of Haikyuu? I'm 106 chapters into Haikyuu. So far, Haikyuu's fine. I've been enjoying it. It hasn't blown me out of the water for anything. But it's been an enjoyable read. Dritz, how would you feel if Luffy fought King? I mean, it would be nice to finally see proof that Luffy can actually defeat a commander because he hasn't been able to do that legitimately. But it would feel like somewhat of a waste to use King for Luffy. I cannot deny. You read One Piece 3? It sound like Matt right now. Dritz, you put Naruto and One Piece on the same level? Yeah. Yeah, I do. How would you feel if Mihawk joins Blackbeard? What? Dritz, is Jinbei ever going to break the Monster Trio rank? Well, I'm not... It depends on what you mean by that question. Is Jinbei ever going to become permanently stronger than Sanji? No. The only thing that could happen to quote-unquote break the Monster Trio rank is if Luffy gets too strong. And then leaves Zoro and Sanji in the dust, which he's already done. Well, at least on paper, he's already done that. Let's go. Let's legitimately. Let's go. What did I say? Wait, what did I say that you're saying that about, Roger? What did I say? Dritz, isn't it true that all of Naruto's supporting cast is useless except for Kakashi, and when Shikamaru kills that one guy, no spoilers? Well, that's already spoilers because you said he killed somebody. Naruto's supporting cast is not that good. That's a fact. Great White Hype just woke up, but did you rate the chapter, bro? Also, here's $5. Thanks for the donation, Sin. I did read the chapter. What did I rate it? Like a 6? Something like that. Reread Naruto. Guys, there is nothing wrong with saying that Naruto is equal to One Piece. I don't know where this elitism comes from. I will say this again. I've said this in stream so many times. Naruto is consistently better in quality throughout almost the entirety of its series than One Piece. Even though it has its issues, if you compare Naruto pre-time skip is great. I still prefer One Piece pre-time skip, despite the fact that One Piece has more downs than Naruto does in its pre-time skip. I just like One Piece more as a series. But overall, Naruto is greater in quality throughout its pre-time skip. And in the post-time skip, it's not a comparison. Naruto slaps the shit out of One Piece in its post-time skip. But Naruto ended. The last arc of Naruto, which was 200 chapters, was so historically bad that it just fucked up. It fucked up. Kishimoto was on crack like he had been for years when writing the series. And that's the reason why Naruto has fallen down the pit it's fallen down. But Naruto is a consistently higher quality than One Piece. You can't compare the post-time skips. That's how different they are. Naruto has ended, and by the rate that One Piece is going, who knows what it's going to be like whenever the series ends. Kishi forgets about a supporting cast in Shippuden, and the same can be said about Oda and One Piece. None of the shots matter. So who's really wrong there? Just Naruto or One Piece, as of right now, equal. $5 from Zest Godee. Just finished the Golden Age, and your praise of the series got me to do so. Thank you so much, bro. Yo, I'm glad you are reading Berserk, man. Let me. How'd you like it? Did you enjoy the Golden Age? Dritz, what do you think of Yamato calling Momo her child? I mean, that's kind of par for the course. She's in the delusion that she's Odin, right? So that makes sense considering what she thinks. What are your opinions on Fairy Tail? I am not knowledgeable enough on Fairy Tail to comment on it. I didn't even finish the series, so. Dritz, you're capping about the Naruto versus One Piece comparison, bro. It feels like you clearly got a bias there. Do you realize that after Naruto ended, I read the entire last arc of Naruto weekly. Nothing has hurt me more than Naruto did in that final arc. I didn't even touch or watch or read Naruto for 6 years. Or like, until recently, like the last year, whenever I touched Naruto again. I was fucking butthurt. And I have slandered Naruto ad nauseum. Don't pretend like I always praise Naruto. Naruto's not a perfect series. But I'm not capping here. For me, they're on a similar level. Did I read the chapter? I did read the chapter. Just I heard Boruto was really good, right? Is it true? I don't know. I read the first 7 chapters of Boruto and decided never to touch it again. Thoughts about the next few chapters of Big Mom, Straw Hats versus Big Mom. How is she going down? Well, I don't think she's being defeated here. I don't know what the future is. Big Mom's such a meme that I can't take her seriously, so you know for a fact that nothing serious is happening in the next few chapters with Big Mom. It is a very likely scenario, and oh my god, we would have to talk about it, but now that someone's put it into my head that Big Mom, from being hit in the head by the motorcycle from Frankie, could reactivate her amnesia, I can't stop thinking about it. I pray to God that isn't true. $5 just a reminder. Soccer equals Naruto equals Sasuke. Ooh. $5 again from Heavy. Thank you for the $5, Nami. I think my mind broke when Yama calling Momo her son. I was like, what the fuck, how? Wait, really? You were broke on that? That makes sense, I think. Right? To be fair, Dritz, you have a mostly One Piece audience, so you don't be surprised if they can acknowledge that you have a point. Well, I think there's a difference between like agreeing with me and having Naruto and One Piece on the same level, but this is also the same for reverse. So Naruto fans had this issue as well. Naruto fans, or the hyper fans of any series, usually think their series is the best. That's why they're hyper fans of that series. So I'm not surprised that people are like, no, like, oh, Naruto trash, One Piece goated, bro. But it just depends on how you look at it, man. Just the thoughts on Attack on Titan. I dropped Attack on Titan shortly after the time skip, but I plan on rereading it again. $2 from Sagad, my man. If you want to keep your sanity, never touch Boruto. Never. I've heard Boruto is quote unquote gas. Have I started JoJo's yet? No. JoJo's is on like the middle of my list. Jits, what's your opinion on that as a spoiler for Brago if he's still in the chat? Big Mom or Kaguya? Oh man. I would have to say Kaguya. Because Big Mom is an incredibly more flawed and mishandled character than Kaguya was. Kaguya suffers more from the fact that she just came in really at the end and didn't fucking matter. But in terms of like what was handled worse, I mean, I would take Big Mom over like Madara. But I'd probably take Kaguya over Big Mom, dude. What do you think about Tory shooting Meg? Well, I've never listened to any of Meg Thee Stallion's music, and I don't even know who Tory Lanez is, so I guess that sucks. Just thoughts on Jack this chapter? I mean, he showed up. We didn't really get to see him do that much. He showed up. Well, I guess we'll see moving forward, right? Have I read Monster? I read 30 chapters of Monster, and I need to. I'm gonna read Monster again. Opinions on Black Clover? I have no opinion because I have not read Black Clover. What fights do you think we could possibly get from Mihawk? Just Zoro. That's about it. I don't think Mihawk's getting a single fight in the series outside of Zoro. I pray that I'm wrong, though. I pray. Sanji versus King, Zoro versus King. Which are you excited for? I'm excited for neither. But who would I give more weight into fighting who? I mean, as of right now, I mean, at least Sanji's at least had an interaction with King. Zoro not only has not seen King or Kaido or like anybody on Kaido's side, but I mean, Sanji has a better shot from a writing standpoint, I suppose. Like if just based on interactions, power scaling, they're both fucked up. So it's like, you know, pick your poison there. I think Sanji has a better chance at this point in time. Just would your enjoyment in One Piece be revived? Do you think Oda just doesn't care about the story anymore with the off screens and the cut plot lines? I mean, I don't really know what's going on in Oda's head. Will my enjoyment for One Piece be revived? That depends on Oda, honestly. I mean, are we gonna? It depends. I'm sure, but there is like almost a 0% chance that by the end of One Piece is not going to be something that I like. Very, very unlikely. I like stuff at the beginning of Wano, but it was just later on in the arcs that Oda ruined everything. I'm almost positive there's going to be an arc after Wano that I'll enjoy. We'll see. Wano even has the chance to become enjoyable for the latter half, but overall as an arc, it can't be good. What do you think about Zoro outside of his strength? I'm a fan of Zoro's archetype of character. Kind of bummed out that Zoro hasn't mattered in the post time skip at all, because I do enjoy Zoro's character. I think in the pre-time skip he was way more enjoyable as a character though. Just do you think there's a chance that Zoro doesn't even meet Kao during the whole war? I mean, you would assume that he would at least see him, right? At the very, very least. Yes, if Crocodile's Luffy's mom, then One Piece goes back to being Goda. Just do you put any credence on King thinking he could split Sanji in half and Sanji saying he could actually put a hole in his stomach at least? I mean, at that level, yeah. I mean, I believe he was saying the truth. Just has Oda ever had Sanji clash with someone Zoro fights later on? I don't think that's ever happened. I mean, Sanji had a little combat with Blueno, and Luffy beat Blueno. But as far as Zoro is related, I don't think he touched Kaku at all. He was in the same room with Kaku. But yeah, I don't think so. Yo, what's going on quietly? Dritz Hunter x Hunter or Naruto / One Piece? I don't know. I have to reread Hunter x Hunter to determine that. I only read it once, so I don't know enough about it to like give a definitive opinion. $10 from Sagad. Heavy Hime trying to have Shanks die in the next arc. Shake my head. The disrespect. What's wrong with that? Who I think is stronger between Smoker and Crocodile? Depends on where Smoker's at right now. If I were to choose between Crocodile right now and Smoker during Punk Hazard, I'd choose the Croc. Zoro went up against Jabba, but Sanji fought him. Oh, that's right. Zoro was fighting both of them at the same time. So, I mean, exceptions can be made. It's only Naruto and Kakashi were the only relevant main characters. Sasuke? What? Out of the main characters, Naruto, Team 7, like Sakura is the only one you could say that like even Sakura had more relevancy than like almost every single Straw Hat post time skip. I mean, what are we talking about? If Roger had the Gomu Gomu no Mi, would that be drop the series worthy? No. I mean, it would be cringe, but it wouldn't be drop the series worthy. Do I think Teach's Kurozu is strong enough to pull Big Mom off of Zeus or Prometheus, I mean, sure, why not? Sakura over the strats has to be troll in terms of how what she was used for. We're talking post time skip, by the way. Pre times, like Naruto, Sakura wasn't that bad, and Naruto at the beginning for the first half of the series, not good at all. A lot of the One Piece characters are significantly better than Sakura overall. Not all of them, but many of the Straw Hat characters are significantly better than Sakura overall. But in terms of were they useful, who was more relevant, Sakura was way more relevant to the overall story than any single Straw Hat has been in the post time skip, if you compare post time skips. Except for debatably Sanji. Because Sanji was relevant in Whole Cake Island, just not like a whole lot. Sakura also fought an Akatsuki member as well, so. Just doesn't it seem like Sanji's gotten a power down since he got the raid? So he seems like he's been getting owned by King based on both of their comments. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down. Calm down. Sanji's going up against someone significantly stronger than him. It's not a power down if you do that. Him getting like overpowered by King is what should happen. That's like for me that's a non-issue, man. Nami with Cracker. Oh, you mean off screen the fight? Yeah. One Piece copied Fairy Tail, they copied Gildarts. Oh, oh word? Okay. Let's talk about how Frankie and Brooke ran over Big Mom while kicking a freestyle. I mean, they did kind of style on her, man. I'm not going to lie. You could argue Sasuke was more relevant than Naruto himself. You could argue. Well, I mean, to a degree. Well, just defending Sanji, hate to see it. Listen, I mean, it doesn't matter who you put in the situation, except for, I mean, even Luffy, because Luffy does never plays up to the competition. It doesn't matter who you put in that situation, they're getting the same things happening to them. Zoro is getting slammed into that wall, Luffy's getting slammed into that wall, Sanji's getting slammed into that wall. So it's not that big of an issue, man. Don't be hating on Sanji getting overpowered by King. That happens to like every Straw Hat. Just do you think the Big Mom Pirates could win the battle Marineford if they took up the Whitebeard Pirates' places? No, I don't. Doesn't matter what Yonko you put there, they're heavily outmatched. Dritz, Sanji or Zoro, for that matter, getting overpowered and beaten by King is a feat for them if they clash a bit with him, honestly. I mean, yeah. Just when a new character is introduced, what do you look forward to the most? It depends on the type of character introduced, because you can clearly tell the difference between side characters and then plot or like arc important characters. So there's a difference between one of Big Mom's 90 siblings and, let's say, Pudding. Well, not 90 children, and then Pudding. Pudding gives off the air of a significantly more arc intensive character. So you look forward to development, what they are, what makes them tick, stuff like that, how they develop through the arc, what their relationships with other characters are, and stuff like that. What's up, East Blue Drew? Dritz, there are people who think Nami getting the Soul Fruit is the only thing that will take her to the next level needed for her to fight Blackbeard's. Okay, listen. So, for the people who believe that tricky, let's put that into perspective. So their argument is Nami needs to get the fruit, a Yonko's Devil Fruit, in order to be relevant in the fight against Blackbeard's pirate crew. End of story. Oh, please, brother. No. What? Like, that's so weird. If you're giving Nami a big mom's Devil Fruit, a Yonko's Devil Fruit, just to fight Blackbeard's measly crew? Not necessary. Not necessary at all, in my opinion. What's up, Jamel? Which design do you prefer more, Katakuri or King? I prefer Katakuri's design more. Personally, I prefer Katakuri's design. Although that could change if we see what King looks like underneath. Because, like, I mean, all King right now is like a gimp. Just, do you think the confines of the shonen genre will kill it through repetition and lack of creativity, or is there always going to be an audience for it? There's always going to be an audience for shonen. There's always going to be an audience for shonen. It's going to evolve over time because shonen evolves and stories evolve to whatever is on the market or what is profitable. But shonen's always going to exist. Dritz, so do you think Nami and Robin would be allowed to do more in the story if they were male? Depends. Are they still on the Straw Hat crew? Because it's not all going to be men on the crew. It's not possible. Dritz, do you think Oda has to keep Zoro a zero away from Top Chase because of his promise to Luffy to never lose again? What I'm trying to say is Oda is out here babying Zoro. Well, Oda's always babied Zoro. That's just a fact. But I don't think that's his reasoning for doing that. Straw Hats or Team 7? Straw Hats. Oh, overall as a unit. Dritz, how good do you think Luffy and Nami versus Cracker could have been like if it wasn't off screen or had better writing in the middle of the fight? Please go into detail. So I'm going to talk about this in the big video, but oh my god, Luffy and Nami versus Cracker. Oh my god. That had so much potential, especially from Nami's side. Oh my god. And like Luffy and Nami for the first half of Whole Cake Island they had a great dynamic together, great drama between them and Sanji. It was so good. They had, even after the Cracker fight, there was good moments between them. The best moment, with the Sanji stuff happening. But, oh my gosh. It would have been so good. Nami's never, ever going to have an opportunity to fight someone of Cracker's level ever again in the series. And, you could have had a duo fight, dude. Oh, come on. Navigator and Captain? Please, man. But as far as details go for Luffy Nami versus Cracker, I mean, there's like a ton of things you could have created in terms of what happened during the time skip, memories from them bonding together more as just characters in general. You could have brought up Ace stuff. You could have brought up just them being separated at Sabaody. You could have done this, that, and the other. You could have combined their abilities, make Nami stand out more as a character. Dritz, don't you think the big video would be better if it's after Wano ends? I mean, truthfully, yeah, it would be. Does I think King was tortured by fire and his body is torched and that's why he loves torture? Like Jason from Tokyo Ghoul? Possible. Yeah. Do you think Sanji should have fought with Luffy against Katakuri? Should? I mean, there's no should. Could? Yeah, he could have, but should? There's nothing in the story that even brings forth the idea that Sanji should have fought against Katakuri at all. So there's no should. There's no story element or nothing set up that kind of promise that happening ever. Dritz Guts theme is probably my top 5 favorite OSTs. I can listen to it for an hour and still not be tired of it. I listen to it whenever there are sad and philosophical moments in Berserk. I listen to that thing every day, baby. Every day. Every day. Dritz, what I don't like about the raid suit is that I don't want to take it away from Sanji's hockey progression. I want Sanji to use hockey more often. Well, what kind of hockey? And that could still happen. Depends what you mean by that. Looking at how Oda is fast-tracking the round 3 thing he did with Croc seems pointless now. Explain, Silvers. What do you mean? Dritz, why didn't Mihawk teach Zoro about how to permanently make a black blade? Does this imply that Mihawk wasn't the original owner of Yoru? You think... Well, here's the same reason why Mihawk didn't teach Zoro, like, literally everything is, like, the same... Well, it's not... It's actually different dynamic between Mihawk and Zoro, but it's basically the same answer as why didn't really better prepare Luffy for the New World, because Luffy was not prepared whatsoever for the New World. That's because Oda wanted to... Well, for Zoro, it's weird because Zoro hasn't done shit. But at least for Luffy, Oda was going to focus on his strength. I'm sure that was the original intention from Oda, is to focus on increasing their strength so that it feels like better than just like, oh, they met super strong character made them super duper strong. I demand you replace the blushing shark with Chich Popo or else I riot. Well, I can't spoil Chich. Brog's not caught the Chich, man. I can't spoil the Chich Popo. But anyway, I'll probably stream for the next 10 minutes or so and then call this a quit. This will be re-uploaded onto my secondary channel, which you have to join the Discord to find in the description below. But I will answer the next 10 minutes of questions, and then might be time for some Apex with the boys, you know what I'm saying? Oda was really trying to make us believe that Zoro cutting Kaido was supposed to be special, but we out here Samurai's hurting him with Rio anyways. So like the funny thing with ZKKC is that this is proof that for a majority of them, they don't give a shit about the story. Whenever they say it's great for the story, they're lying to each other, because I know for a fact that none of them care about the story. They just want to be right, and they want to gas up Zoro. If Zoro does end up killing Kaido, and it's possible, has literally no meaning whatsoever. No build up to it. Very forced. Awful. Just how the hell did the Skybirds hurt Kaido so much? Well, I mean, that's, for me, in my opinion, it's self-explanatory. Kaido had a PTSD moment like Big Mom with Mother Carmel. His defenses were weakened, and he got hurt. They're not going to touch Kaido again. And if they do, it won't be anything significant. I phrased that wrongly, but what are your thoughts if we had Luffy partnering with Sanji just like he did with Nami against Katakuri? Or Nami against Cracker, what you meant to say? Oh, if Luffy and Sanji had a duo fight? Ooh, boy. That would be so amazing. That would be so amazing. Having them working together, plus with all the shit they had going. Oh, there was such potential for that. With like the drama going on with the crew, Sanji and Luffy fighting together against Katakuri. Not only would it be more realistic, but oh man, so much potential. Dritz, why do you think authors keep falling into the trap of making villains too strong to realistically beat? Examples are Katakuri, Big Mom, and Kaido. Well, Katakuri wasn't too unrealistic. Like, in the heat of the moment, yes, he was. He was too ridiculous to beat. Oda just should have written that better. But people like Big Mom and Kaido, they're going to exist in any story where, like, fighting's supposed to be a thing because they give, like, a really cool cap and aura of threat with how strong they are. And it, depending on, like, as long as they're not God level, where it's, like, kind of stupid, there's always way to conventionally work around people's strength if you're smart about it. Dritz, what's your opinion on Obito as a villain before and after his mask shatters? Obito was cooler when we didn't know he was Obito. In my opinion. He was cooler whenever he wasn't Obito. Whenever he was Toby, that was cool. Whenever people thought he was Madara, that was cooler. Whenever he was Obito and shit like that, I was like, Just what are your thoughts when Luffy awakens his devil fruit? He will turn Sanji and Zoro into rubber men? Oh, calm down. Just I think Zoro and Sanji could tag team against King. That would be amazing. See, like, you know what plotline would have been cool for that? Zoro and Sanji actually teaming up. Oh my gosh, what potential! You could actually write something with their characters. What little was left with them. Oh my god, you could actually have a legitimate rivalry and expand upon things. You could have had the repercussions of Whole Cake Island reveal themselves in Wano. Had there been a scuffle between their characters, some drama, and they reunite to fight against King together. Oh fuck, dude. Then there could have been development with their relationship with each other, how they see each other in the crew, and how they treat each other into the future. Oh man, could you imagine if characters mattered, dude? Oh my gosh. Dritz, what do you think it will take for people to finally agree that admirals are equal to Yonko, and do you think it will ever happen? What it would take is there to be a definitive long-term clash and revelation of them fighting each other. Because even like let's in a believable scenario where a Kainu shows up and kills a Yonko, people are going to say, well, no, he was fleet admiral, so he was like on Yonko level, so that makes sense. The other admirals are like first mate level. That's not going to stand. You need someone that isn't a Kainu going head to head and equal with a Yonko. You should have had. We had an opportunity if Kizaru showed up and started fucking with Kaido and Big Mom on equal standing. You know, if Green Bull shows up or something like that, you know, whatever, then people will shut up. But there's always going to be an excuse, and Oda is cognizant of this desire to see this answer. He's never going to give it, in my opinion. He will never give it. Dritz, how do you think round 2 for Kaido versus Luffy will go, and how strong do you think Luffy is right now? Okay, so if they were to fight like right now, I mean, it's kind of weird because obviously Luffy's going to have help. But if there's going to be a round 3, then what happens is Luffy does better. Kaido dominates him still, but Luffy hurts him. That's how I think it would go. Luffy would get like a serious punch in or something like that. Do some actual damage to Kaido. Dritz, do you think Law should have defeated Doflamingo? Because I do. Should he have defeated him? I mean, it would be better for Law's character because then you could also save Luffy's true strength if it was supposed to be for Law rising up. But I just think that Law should have had a better role in that fight. And realistically speaking, I also think that Dofi could have been stronger to make that better. Agree, Oda's underestimating the Zoro-Sanji rivalry. There's not even really a rivalry. It's a meme. Law should have been the one to deal the final blow against Dofi, but it always has to be Luffy. I mean, it'd be a lot more satisfying if Law was the one to deal the final blow to Dofi. From a character standpoint, but I mean, the Luffy saves the day and like everyone was screaming Lucy defeat Doflamingo. So for the Dressrosa people, it was all about Luffy. I just wish that Law was more prevalent in that fight to be written better, but. Just would you be down for Luffy teaming up with his crewmates against heavy hitters, Cracker Katakuri, in the reversed order? Kim's planned them away. Oh, well, I mean, the reverse order stuff, mister, it's like whatever. That'd be like a nice little thing to add on there. But you can't have like an overabundance of duo fights because then it puts into question Luffy's actual strength. Dritz, do you think Odin had to lose to Kaido for Luffy to become Pirate King? Really seems that way at this point. Had to lose to Kaido? I mean, no. Why would he have to lose to Kaido for Luffy to become Pirate King? Drit's favorite strategic, technical-based fight in media? Oh, I don't know. That's like off the cuff. I don't know if I have a way of answering that, man. Dritz, do you still see Law dying in Wano? I don't see much use for his character after Wano. But if he dies in Wano, given what's happened now, unless Oda spends some time to actually flesh out his character and have some good character moments, it will not hit. Just why is everyone hurt that there is more Luffy-focused post-time skip? Was not to be expected. I don't think anybody in the entire community expected it to be so one-handed. To the point where like the crew doesn't actually matter. I don't think anyone expected that. Dritz, do you think Luffy will ever 1v1 an Admiral besides Akainu? No. I don't think so. He might clash with some. He may have some run-ins, but To beat one? No, I don't think so. I mean, all of the post-time skip is kind of dependent on Odin dying, and if he had beat Kaido, then it's opening Wano's borders wouldn't be a big deal in the present. I mean, like, okay, but that doesn't mean that Luffy couldn't become Pirate King, right? I mean, like, realistically, in a world that would still be easy to accomplish. What, not easy, but like it would be more feasible. At least as we know right now, there could be additional information that made it actually impossible. But as we know right now, there's nothing that would have happened that could have happened that, like, as far as Oden and Kaido goes, their outcome is would have made it impossible. Just right now, do you think any of these fights are actually going to matter or happen? Sanji versus King, Luffy versus Big Mom, etc. I mean, there's fights and then there's clashes. I am sure Sanji and King will probably butt heads a few more times. Well, actually, I'm not sure. It's possible. It could just be, the one and done, the Oda Classic. Luffy versus Big Mom, there will probably be a clash there. Actual fights, I don't think there's a definitive fight between Luffy and Big Mom. Sanji versus King is a maybe. Sanji versus King is a maybe. Dritz, Kid's screen time is too low. Oda should flesh him out how he did with Law. Yeah, he should have. Kid has been a miss for this entire arc. I'm not going to lie. I did not expect that to happen, by the way. I thought Kid would actually get more attention than Law did. So I'm not happy with where Kid's character is currently. Just when do you think Hunter x Hunter will come back? Never frequently again. It may be every once in a while there'll be like a little stream of challenges, but it's never going to come back consistently, in my opinion, until Togashi gives the reins to someone else in terms of drawing it. Togashi's health is never going to get better, in my opinion. I think he's too old. It's too severe. It will never get to the point where he can consistently make manga again without actually killing himself in the process of doing so. The only way Hunter x Hunter will continue indefinitely is if Togashi puts away his pride, finds a protege or someone else to draw it, and then literally just does the storyboarding and all of the plot stuff for Hunter x Hunter and have that person draw it. That's the only way it continues, in my opinion. How do I feel about Zoro versus King next chapter? It could happen. Zoro could just show up and just, throw a few air slashes and clash with King. That's possible. If Sanji fights King, who are Zoro and Kid fighting? Well, I mean, Kid's going to join eventually the fight against Kaido, I imagine. And then he'll probably still meme around with Apu. What ends first? Hunter x Hunter, Berserk? Berserk. Berserk is definitely going to end before Hunter x Hunter does. No doubt in my mind on that. Do you think Luffy will return to Whole Cake Island like he told Katakuri? Not exactly like how he told Katakuri. It may happen eventually, but he's not going to backtrack after defeating Kaido to go back to Whole Cake Island. I don't think it's going to happen the way he said it's going to happen. Is a group discussion going to happen? Probably not, no. I'm probably going to end it in the next 5 or so minutes. Kid is way too low for how little he does. I agree with that, actually. As someone who likes Kid. Is it a pride issue with Togashi? Because I've heard that his wife is supposed to handle the story if he can't finish. Inherently, there is a pride issue. As a mangaka, if you have a story that you've been doing for years and years and years, and realistically, deep down in your heart that it's not going anywhere, but you don't have any plans outside of it, outside of your own death, then yeah, there's going to be pride involved. That's your baby. That's your life's work. Well, one of your life's works. Definitely pride as a man involved there. Zoro versus Who thoughts? I mean, sure. I guess he's got a sword, right? If Kong didn't have big muscles, do you think anyone would give a fuck about him? They would still care about him, but not to the same degree. Kong's physical presence is definitely a big reason why people have expectations for him. Cut your hair, man. We need the Aldrids back. Nah, man, we ain't going back. Not for a while, at least. Do I like Kid or the potential of him? If the former, why? I like the potential of Kid. I like his potential. See you later, I don't even, Flam. I'll call you Flam. Driz, do you think Luffy in group battles is better than Luffy in 1v1s? I don't know what the answer for that's supposed to be. Like, is Luffy better in group battles than he is in 1v1? I'm not sure what perspective you're looking at that from, VWQP. Could you, like, what do you mean by that? We got Beyond Dritz. Yeah, that's right. Beyond Dritz. Dritz, what is Kid's potential, though? To be the first legitimate rival to Luffy? The other pirate peer who isn't just there to suck Luffy's dick? If I could pick someone to draw Hunter x Hunter, who would it be? I would want it to be Ishida. He has a tremendous passion for Hunter x Hunter. He created the Hisoka backstory, which Togashi acknowledged as like, okay, that's fine, that's it now. He's incredibly obsessed with the series. He would need to get better with his fight drawing, because that's, well, I mean, not Togashi wasn't good at it anyway, but he would need to get better with his fight drawing, but he has the highest potential with the art style of what's Hunter x Hunter is supposed to be. I think he's the best person to bring out his full charm. Do I like Law's crew? No. I don't hate them. They're not really relevant, though. They're just kind of there. Beppo's a panda. Should Black vs. Luffy be a 1v1 or a team-up? Oh, I think it should be a 1v1. I would prefer it to be a 1v1. How do I feel about Itachi from Naruto? I like him. I would have to reread to get my full opinions on him, but I loved him whenever I was part of the Naruto community. From Tokyo Ghoul Dritz? Yes. Ishida from Tokyo Ghoul. Dritz, do you think if Sanji is still going to fight post that attack from King, does that undermine his power? Not really. No, I don't think so. Stop slandering my man Togashi. I'm not really slandering him. What are we talking about? I mean, I'm aware, Nate. I know that Togashi will probably not until he's. It might change if Togashi was near like the end of his days. He might change it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like George R.R. Martin is like what 70 something. He's teetering on the brink of death at any moment, and he doesn't have a protege. Get the the Game of Thrones series will never actually end until someone finishes. Kind of like the Wheel of Time had to be finished by Brandon Sanderson. Robert Jordan never actually finished it. He died. Dritz, how can Luffy counter Blackbeard's Devil Fruit negation ability? That's the one of the most broken abilities in the verse. How can he counter it? I don't know, honestly. Maybe there's some kind. O's going to have to show us how that's going to be countered. He may have to show us the limitations of the Darkness Fruit. What's its weakness? We'll have to find out. I'm not sure, actually. Would you be pissed if Law keeps traveling with Luffy post Wano? I'm low-key sick of him. I would be tired of it if, like, it was just there for, like, continued memeage. Because, like, at that point, if Law were to continue traveling to Straw Hats post Wano, I would much rather have it if, like, Law honestly just joined the fucking crew. Get it over with. You said Togashi drawing was bad, which is true, but you don't have to say it. I mean, come on, dude. Like, it's. I'm not even saying it to meme. Togashi's not a great artist consistently. And that's just. I still love the series. It's not like I'm like ripping on him for it. Just are you open to the idea that Zoro came out of the training stronger than Luffy? Makes logical sense just because someone's the MC does not equate to being the stronger all the time, like Shaman King. Well, I mean, it would definitely go against some of the things that Oda's already been writing from the post time skip with like the Jinbei stuff with the crew. But do I think it's possible? That's the only option that's available to have Zoro even be anywhere close to Luffy's strength currently. That's the only option that makes sense. Do I think Hunter x Hunter has great potential? Yeah, obviously, yeah. Hunter x Hunter's Dark Continent is, oh my gosh, the potential there is like all-time greatness. Who is my favorite villain in anime manga? Well, I'm not super duper cultured, mind you, but I mean, obviously Griffith. Just don't know if you answered this already, but which manga anime series has the best supporting cast aside from Berserk? Well, I would actually have to read some of them. I don't. I have not caught up to Kingdom, but I know some people think Kingdoms is the greatest. I don't agree with. I like Berserk significantly more than Kingdoms. I need to read Monster because I've heard Monster's supporting cast is top tier. I'm 5 chapters into Gintama, but I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it. I've heard Gintama's supporting cast is like actually the best. We'll see. We'll see. Do you think there was another way for Itachi to stop the Uchiha coup outside of the massacre? I don't know if there was a way. Those people were fucking stupid. And if you revealed his card, then could compromise what they were trying to do. I'm not sure. More potential Berserk? I mean, from a world building standpoint, yeah, obviously. From a character standpoint, Hunter x Hunter is not touching Berserk, I don't think. Gintama is the best. Yeah, I'm 5 chapters in Gintama. Not big of not a big fan, but I'm gonna continue reading it. Are the Vinland read-throughs coming back? Probably not. Probably not. Does it feel as if Miura can make us feel sorry for Griffith at the end, even with all he's done? I think he has the possibility of doing that as well. Just have you ever read FMA? I have watched it numerous times. I have never actually read it. Never actually read it. Just do you agree that Kishi originally planned for Itachi to be a bad guy? I could see it. I could see him changing his mind last minute. Yeah, well, here's the thing, Billy Bob. I'm never going to, like, with the Gintama, I'm not going to watch it. Guaranteed not watching it. if a series greatness is predicated on like you can't watch it, it's not good when you watch it, but like then it's not going to be good manga. If it's only good anime, I can take that, but I do not want to watch anime, man. If I can avoid it, I just do not want to watch it, man. Especially for a series like Gintama, I do not want to watch that. I would much rather read through it than watch it. What fantasy stories outside of anime and manga do you recommend? The ones I like are Ari Salvatore books, Terry Brooks, Brandon Sanderson. Those authors are my favorite authors. Yes, Christian, I do. Do I see any strides dying at the end of the series? I could see one max. One max. But anyway, boys, I will call it quits here for the stream. I will upload it onto my secondary channel. If you don't know where that is, go to the Discord link below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for the love, everyone. Break next week, so I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Hopefully, I'll upload a video next week. But adios, lads. Adios.